Hey, defenders of the Grav Runner, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Odyssey Grav Runners, episode 32. What do we need? Many more guns. Okay, here we go. They are aggroed, and they're protecting 3 Glitter World and some Lucy. Not worth the fight. There's not even a hermetic crate or anything. Bye-bye. So if you want to take a chance, you can always go to the survey site towards the end of its lifetime, because in my experience, the survey really only gets attacked in the last few days. But we are the Grav Runner survey team, so I don't really want to do that for role-playing reasons. And yeah, I could ooh, there are vents here. I didn't notice. I could hypothetically surround the survey site. Oh, there's a village here too, with like hill root and stuff. Where is the... Oh, here it is. So, let's park right here. Looks to be plenty of wood to amass chem fuel. That's nice. And there's a power source in here or something. Because, that's a lot of herbal meds. Because the lights are on. I don't think there'd be enemies, because this should be an abandoned village, but I'll proceed with caution all the same. So, it would be an awesome time to grab lots of wood for chem fuel. So let's do that. Definitely going to be yoinking. Definitely going to be yoinking. Dies! Oh, yes! Sandstone beds. Oh, gross. Nice. Well, I don't hate this zone. Searching for ores. Compacted. No plasteel. What about ores? Silver. Cool. And then once these hill root grow a little bit more, I will harvest them as well. I missed a room? Yes, so I did. Beer? Quickly, pleek. In the name of beer and all that is holy. Build a campfire. Alright. Well, hopefully it's, yeah. So I was definitely hoping for some more plasteel. From this spot, I don't think I'll be able to get to Goworth unless I load up chem fuel in the shuttle and do a 2-hop. I could try to do a 2-hop though. But I think what I'll do is I will prep I'll prep autocannon turrets anyway. So I'm gonna make an autocannon turret here and here, to cover the corners. And then maybe one here and here. But these two autocannon, like, it will be prioritizing those two first. Oh, come on. The volatile person, I'm sure, deserved the beating. Yeah. The insult to Turtle's eyes. So slightly deserved the beating, but... Guys. Can't we all just get along? I'm lazy to paint. So I'm just gonna make the whole thing a home zone, and then, like, fix it later. I'll, like, get the outside tiles removed, but I don't... It doesn't need to be perfect, because the moment we launch, it self-fixes. When we do launch. Maybe there's some plasteel in the tunnels below? Tunnels? These things are a smoke vents. They're inactive, but they're not tunnels. That's what you were thinking. Roof zone. Although it's a little annoying to do, I am going to roof up these, because if we're headed to orbit anytime soon, orbital debris will pummel this section more frequently if it is unroofed. And I'd like to avoid that. I'm also curious how close I am to my tile max. Oh, well, we still have a lot of play left. That's good. So we've got some hauling to do here. There's plenty of wildlife to hunt, but we would have to group hunt because they're revenge animals. You are overdosing on what? Go juice. Why are you eating go juice? Literally implanted you to be a smart fox, and you're a dumb fox. That's annoying. Alright, the turrets in here, I'm just going to get rid of, because they really, truly do not serve a purpose anymore. The mini ones I can uninstall and reinstall elsewhere, but the big ones I'm just going to, like, nuke. Because I don't need that anymore. In terms of the mini ones, that's 4 tiles away. We'll reinstall them here and here. And I'm low on my uranium, so I'm not going to be spending any more uranium making more mini turrets. But what I could do is I could spread out the one... Well, the back of the ship is pretty well armored. I don't know. I feel like I could spread the turrets out better. I'm just not immediately concerned about that. And then these doors here really don't need to be doors anymore, so I'll have them reconverted over to the walls. Now, as I'm sure you're well aware, I do not have power running along the gangplanks, so let's run conduit there so that we can actually turn on turrets. I'll have them connect in like that. I don't want to necessarily rely on the chemgens, because the chemgens aren't guaranteed to be here for forever. Hey ZG, thank you for the resub. $91 grow. And beer is fermented. Nice. Free beer. Survey beer. Well, we have a truly obscene amount of wood, so I'm going to raise the amount of chem fuel we make out of wood up like a whole lot. I'd rather keep the wood on the ship, but like the labor of making the chem fuel is kind of annoying, and we have a lot of downtime, so I figured why not just spend it now. Alright, these are not going to be doors, but they're still constructing, so they're getting around to it. Oh, okay. Well, free uranium. I don't mind that at all, especially when I expressed an interest to get a slug turrets. And uranium slug turrets are still being researched, but that will be spicy once done. So now these turrets have power, and the power run for the south is almost done. Ship kind of looks like a teddy bear lying on its side. If you say so. You have a very active imagination is all I'm going to say. Alright, I will put... maybe... wooden doors don't open very quick, but I'll use like old school airlocks here. A little weird, but, you know, whatever. And then the dead power that was there got ruined. So I'll just move the dead power onto the platforms themselves, because that's now live wired. Oh, yeah. And those are the eyes. I guess I can kind of see it. Okay, there we go. That looks good. And I'm down to 30 Plasteel, which is no surprise. I am hoping to get the guaranteed find of Plasteel soon. I might even kill the research in order to try to drive that faster. Because, we could hypothetically, send our shuttle out to mine Plasteel while we're guarding the survey site. You know. Someone has to stay here, but it doesn't need to be the whole ship. Or the whole crew. I like how this ancient substructure, megastructure, has like 5% fertility. It's like old concrete that like has grass poking out of it or something. It's an interesting concept. Well, now that we have new walls, I don't know how much Plasteel we'll have to be able to dye up the externals, but like I'll see how much we can stretch it. And we're just here for 9 more days. Now the other worry is if we have incoming mechs, right? Because we're still technically being chased by the Mech Hive. I'll have to like abandon this quest. Hopefully there's time, but you know, there's no guarantees. And I'm not gonna like edit the save game file to check. So the other thing I wanted to do is to incorporate the batteries that we salvaged. There's just not... There's not like... Oh. Well, we don't want our power grid broken. There's not like a lot of ample space for this. I know I have more tiles to play with, but I have plans for this area, which is why I don't want to start monopolizing that zone. So, where could these batteries go that wouldn't be annoying? I guess right where the fuel extenders are, as if it was another fuel extender, filling up the same size. And then this battery has nowhere to live. You forgot about the mechs? Yeah, our server team is still being chased by him. It's just we hop around enough that they just don't get a fix on where we are, but if I sit in any one place for too long, that will change. And we, after all the... Whoa, okay. That was abrupt. The ancient smoke fence are now active, and it was like, day-night! Like, okay. Am I having a seizure? No? Good. Slug turrets are now researched. So with slug turrets researched, I'm going to turn off the research bench and the multi-analyzer in lieu of getting the long-range mineral scanner going so that we can actually try to find more plasteel, because we are, again, choked on plasteel. We have a little bit more plasteel than what the game's telling us, because there's plasteel where the old plasteel auto turrets were, but like generally speaking, we're out of plasteel, and we're not going to get any more until we, you know, find it randomly by hopping or finding a lump somewhere. Get the beer? We have the beer. Thankfully, they just grabbed it. So I'm gonna refuel this. We should get the herbal meds though. So Turtle, come on down here. Grab those. Oh, and daytime. Wow, that's really rough on the eyeballs. You clenched because of Noctiliths? Yeah, it was kind of like Noctilith Darkening, for sure. Luckily it wasn't. Hey look, we had enough dyes for the entire perimeter. The new perimeter. And there is a purpose to this. Don't worry, it's not like an aesthetic thing. Completely not. This is a big... I have plans. I just don't need to share those plans just yet. Food binge. You're food binging because you ate without a table. Okay, so you're like, table, 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 table. Got it. That's how you're behaving. I am so glad you're an adult. Oh, God, a psychic runner high. Turtle, hit the soother. To counter out some of that. Alright, some other things I wanted to do. Now that we have a lot of components and a lot of steel, and pretty good power generation, I wanted to add aux pumps to the bedrooms. Because why not? Better safe than suffocating, as they say. And also add an aux pump to the kitchen, because technically speaking, the kitchen could very easily become vacuumed. Because it has a vac barrier, so like it doesn't refill like the rest of the ship does. So the uranium got mined up, all but one. The steel's basically done. So it's just a matter of hauling at this point. With the uranium slugs researched, I'm going to add a slug there, and a slug here, and then maybe a mini turret, because we got more uranium. And then each slug turret is 30 plasteel, so two slug turrets, and that's all my plasteel. But then I'll be adding more slug turrets as we get more plasteel. So really, it's just like a bottleneck of plasteel, and hopefully we resolve that soon. I think these muffalo are now... Is there a nutritional value in hill root? Yes, there is. My guess is they're eating it. So let's harvest it before they eat it all. Vac barriers do separate rooms just like regular doors, yes. So this is a separate room as a result. It just doesn't stop wild animals from bridging the gaps. Wow. Game really wants to throw darkness at us. Alright, all the individual bedrooms now have their own oxygen pumps. Technically speaking, I don't have any I don't have any precursor, but we could make medicine out of this stuff. I don't think it's all that urgent. Alright, we're gonna want to expand roofing over the new turrets. And then expand the home zones as well. Does the hospital need an ox pump? It could use one. Whether it needs one, like, I think my 2 cents is it's better just to avoid, like, decompression. And the thing is, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rooms that could be protected from decompression. So, like, given that, I'm not too worried about the hospital as a result. Because if they're really bedridden, they're not going to be able to get up to close the door and close the vent. Meaning that they're not protected anyway. And if they're not bedridden, then they just get up and close the door and close the vent. So it's like not all that important for me to ox pump there. Because if they're unconscious, they are going to die anyway. And if they're conscious, then they aren't going to die anyway. Weird to think about it that way, but at least that's how my mind squares it. So the droner went away, and that's a bit of a mercy. With all the components that we're using up for the turrets, it might be a good idea for us to mine again. What does the roof over the turrets do? So when orbital debris comes down when you're parked in space, it won't hit things that have a roof. Or it doesn't aim for things that have a roof. So it's possible to get splash damage, but it helps to mitigate some of the orbital debris strikes that a ship will experience. Oh my god, the guaranteed find, we're up to 98%. Game! Why won't you give me Plasteel? At least glitches on it, but holy hell. The other thing I don't have built into this, which I don't know why it didn't occur to me, is I don't have a way to reload these turrets. Which is dumb, because I should have done that. So let's remedy that. And we finally found some Plasteel. Got it. And it says, scanners likely pick up activity from the lump. They're likely hostile. Okay. So in terms of who can mine, Ruinloth can mine, Puig can mine. So maybe we send Puig out there with Klein, because Klein can also mine. Right? They're both able to mine. So what I'll do is I'll make a bedroll, a double bedroll, and then send them out on a trip to do some Plasteel mining with the shuttle. And given our addiction to Plasteel, I'm just going to leave the scanner to keep going. Yeah, I like the protection that we're going to have on the... I don't know if it's the front or the back of the ship. It, like, it's kind of arbitrary, but that section of the ship. Quick Klein. With, let's say, 20 meals. Double bedroll. And 10 beers. It's kind of like a honeymoon. A weird one. We'll head over to the center of this map tile, looking for Plasteel. Unfortunately, my constructors just left, so I'm not going to be able to do any more, like, ship stuff. Oh, good. We landed perfectly. So we're getting ambushed by a dude named Rubber. Okay. A rubber torturer? Yep. Bertha Hale, the rubber torturer. Good job, Rubber. Well, your meals are mine. So for these guys, I'll just tell them not to go near the body. And I'm going to want to mine them up fast enough so we just, like, leave. I don't really care about your gear. And you're both in suits, so your temperature's fine. Negative 79 Celsius. Yeah, I don't need to worry about that. At this point, we are just hunting and chem fueling. We have a lot of chem fuel, so I can turn that off. How about this? Heaters in every bedroom. So Maroon Loth Turtle has a heater. Fangface needs a heater, and Glitch and Good need heater. Then we have one extra heater, which I can put here. I'll have to set the heater temp. These guys will be done with this task soon enough, and I gave them a whole bunch of beer and food so that they can tend to their needs pretty easily. I guess the heaters aren't going to be constructed until, well, it's a delivery task. Just deliver them. So I think our heaters are set to 66. Sounds about right. And then coolers are set to 74? 76? Let's set it to 74. Oh, you guys are diligent. Holy hell. Your time. Free recreation fill. I love it. Maybe set a chem fuel shelf so the danger is contained to one area. It's not a bad idea. It'd be really inconvenient to come back here to fill them. Actually, it's not that bad. So I have 2 shelves that are supposed to be the designated zones. But I'll create new shelves back there near the... Because there's not... I mean, there's the power cell gen, but I don't think this thing is flammable. Oh, no, it is flammable. We'll move the power cell here. I'll move the heater there. I'll move the power cell there, and then put more chem fuel back there. That should work. Yo, go join your wife. There you go. The other thing that you could do is to have a transport pod and like put chem fuel in the pod, and then it's risk-free. Same with like large chem tanks. The reason I don't do a lot of large chem tanks is they're very space inefficient. Because, you know, if you have a tantrum and you punch a chem tank, it doesn't explode, which is nice. Before we leave this map tile, the other thing that occurs to me is... I don't think there's anything else to... Because these types of tiles are just like Plasteel only. Yeah, I'm not really interested in hunting. I don't really need to kill musk oxes here. So we'll just mine up the rest and then get going. But that Plasteel will be great. So with that Plasteel, I think I'm going to start prioritizing marine helmets. Or well, we don't have... No, we have marine armor. Marine helmets. So that we have better face coverings. Because, you know, I don't want my people to have their, like, heads shut off. Oh my god! The game's like, hey, make slug turrets. You know what? You're on! I'll make lots of slug turrets. You want me to keep getting uranium, I'll take advantage of that. No problem. Oh. The only problem with the toxic rounds, I just realized, is there's a non-zero chance that the muffalo that we hunt, like, immediately rots as a result of the toxic rounds. I don't think the likelihood is all that high, but it would be higher for tankier targets, like Thrumbo. So I have to be careful about that. And I'm sure I'll forget. You guys are... That's weird. You, like, left one. And don't know why. Ali K, thank you for the resub. I just gave you work. So we're nearly done here. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to leave the snowman behind. Not much of a honeymoon retreat, but, they did get to spend some quality time together, I guess. And all that lovely Plasteel. So, speaking of Plasteel, now that our constructors are back, I'm going to put a slug here. And a slug here. And then maybe remove this mini turret and put slugs here as well. And then autocannon turret here. So I'm turreting the hell out of the ship. Basically, if you come to mess with us, you get shot real bad. Real bad. So don't. That's the idea. Okay, that looks right. And hopefully we find more Plasteel, because then the next batches of Plasteel can go to marine helmets. I first want to do the turrets before I do the marine helmets, though. Ooh, Good's in a good mood. That's rare to see. Is that because of catharsis? It was. You know, you're a pissy when your inspiration, I just assume, is catharsis from being pissy. Okay. The ship will be far better protected once all this is done. So, constructors, I want you to do nothing but construct, because I'm impatient. Let's actually do slugs here. Autos here. And then, where to put the dead power? And Nabla, thank you for the resub. My goodness, that is a lot of time. I like it. It's quite the gunboat for a survey team. It'll keep us safe. And then there's also the matter of where to put the shield gen. I was actually thinking of the shield generator that we're going to earn from this quest, putting it like here. So it's a 3x3 object. So if we stuck tiles here, I could put the shield gen here. Now, granted, it's kind of annoying to activate the shield gen in this spot, but what I could do is put a uranium auto door here so that this can be like an entry-exit. It's imperfect. I don't love the design, but it will do. Here we go. Here's the turrets. And we have 5 days left protecting the scanner. So I'm going to continue researching. Let's see. So, things we've overlooked. We're good here. Heavy bridges might be nice, but I don't think they're strictly needed. Hunter drones, I might consider going for attachments. Yeah, so I'm going to do hunter drones next. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Odyssey Grav Runners, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, fellow Grav Runners.